There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. One thing about a player that I know is you never check another player about no ho. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. Finally, the honcho has come back. Actually, I was here last night. Shout out to Vince. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Hope everybody's well. It's a weird time right now. We're going to have a conversation tonight. And I said something last night. I've seen a bunch of people come off with this take and start running with this take. That's why I hate social media. You be a small motherfucker, somebody larger take your shit and try to run with it. A little corny motherfuckers take your shit and try to run. Don't even like your shit. They'll take your shit and try to run with it. We're going to talk about Charlie Kirk and why this is bigger than I realize. You know, I'm old school, right? I'm younger old school. I got old school methods and ways. I believe in the old school. I believe those things work. But I like to think myself relatively tapped in with the youth, even though I'm probably not. And I like to think I'm cool. The youngsters, they used to be in their teens here in the den. Now they all 20, they all are over 25. All y'all old too. But lovely Miss Bell joining us. How you doing, Miss Bell? Let me actually in the real chat because I don't think the little side chat shows everything like it's supposed to. Okay, cool. Why this thing is bigger? That's stupid. I'm close to that. Why this is bigger than what I realized? I had no idea how much of the youth, and shout out to Texas Apache, he called last night, and kind of gave us some insight, right? He was very hurt by it. He was very upset by it. And, understandably so. But, again, like I'm older. I'm in my 40s, about to be a little older soon. But so looking up to younger people, it's probably not going to be interesting to me. I didn't like I said, again, I thought he was older than what he was. I've heard of him, throughout the years. And, people make this point and that point about turning point. I've heard about all that. But again, I'm not a person who's always going to take somebody else's opinion. Mr. Anderson. Shout out to Mr. Anderson at Big Money. I'm not a person who likes to always take somebody else's opinion unless I know that person relatively well and I know how they think and I know their thought process. Then that's a little different. But if I don't know how they think, especially about certain subjects, I'm not going to take your opinion on it just because you say so, especially black people. Black men, we got to have a conversation. Make sure you're following on all the proper platforms. You see all these right here? Den Show Live on any fucking social media that you get on. It's Den Show Live. Sign up, follow it. Even if you don't use this social media, that social media. Don't worry. Somebody made a very good point last night on why they don't use certain platforms, and I agree. So we got things set up for other platforms because the game is changing. It's September 11th. It's September 11th. And there's going to be two tragedies that have happened back to back from henceforth, however long we still got in this country, right? Don't ask me no question. Don't ask what I'm eating. It's none of your business. But 9/10, then 9/11. And for a lot of the youth, or people maybe, I don't know, especially people born in the 2000s, they're definitely not going to know, but the 2000s, maybe late 90s even. I mean, like this is something that happened when they were barely functioning or even existing. But now they're all going to know about this because this is that age range that they're in. It's almost like they got to set something off. But I want to talk about, was he a modern martyr for speaking? I mean, if you're not necessarily volunteering to sacrifice yourself, but you still get deleted in the line of duty, are you still a martyr? Are you a martyr if your rhetoric is divisive? Are you a martyr just to certain people? And then I kind of want to talk about some more interesting aspects of it because there's so many angles, right? You can say, oh, you know, crazy long guy. I don't even know the updates on whoever shot. I don't know. But there's so many elements of this that you could dig deep into, especially in these times. If you notice what I'm talking about, when I talk about these things, the BSB boys, some of you may have to get hip to the lingo. Y'all might be missing it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a lot of angles that you can look at this, right? And I'm not here nor there, right? Because I told you I've resigned myself from choosing sides. This whole thing is made up. This whole thing is a farce, a spectacle, a debacle, if you will. But I'm here for it. So I'm not taking any particular. I'm getting back to the den where neutrality was allowed, where conversations were allowed, where people were allowed to disagree, and opinions were shared. Let me change. I said I was going to change this yesterday. And opinions were shared, and we were all better off for it in the long run, right? But I feel though I got too biased. I say that all the time. I don't want to be biased. I want to be I'm a thinking person. I like to think. I like to think I'm thinking. But I like to entertain everybody's perspective because this whole show has always been on we're all friends in the den. And the beauty of the den is so many different people from so many different backgrounds, even though we may not agree, that we can all have a civil, not always civil, but used to be a civil conversation, right? So my deal is this. My goodness, what the hell is this? I was doing a thing. But like I said, my deal is this, is I want to get back to that discourse. I want to get back to that conversation. So there may be people here who disagree, who are not fans or did not like Charlie Kirk, felt like what he was saying was divisive, was hateful, was, demeaning. And there may be people who support that, right? There may be people who say, no, he wasn't. I saw a lot of people say that he was a racist, but one of the last videos he did, I think it might have been that same day, was he was speaking to a black single mother with a child in her arms. And the thing about it, what was so crazy is people expect you to speak to everybody the same, right? You got to understand, hold on, this way, let me turn this way. That you can't speak to everybody the same, right? Clean up, it's dirty in here. So the way you're going to speak to a grown man to try to get your point across is not going to be the same you're going to speak to a woman, because women, you know how y'all get, it's not what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's the way you're saying it that makes me feel bad. Like, you know how y'all get. y'all, you know how women are. And men, if sometimes you don't say things with enough authority and enough tenacity, then it doesn't resonate, right? It doesn't sit. It doesn't sink in. That's what I'm looking to say. Yeah, it doesn't sink in. And so, it's about having that conversation. It's about having that discussion. My bad. And being, Trill, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see you. But it's about getting back to that discussion. That's what the den got away from. So I'm not choosing sides, even though I will state that from my personal opinion and what I saw, I didn't see anything that he said that was wrong. I never saw anything he said. The lovely Miss K. Grace joined us. Vince, what's the motherfucking deal? That I don't feel like I say anything that he said was wrong, right? And I told y'all the take that I had yesterday, I'm starting to see multiple people that I've never seen in my life have this take. Either a lot of people are just having the same thought, or niggas be stealing shit and don't be giving credit where credit is due. And I said that the Charlie Kirk situation had similarities to the Kevin Samuels situation. And the reason why I say that is because it's the same people celebrating. And apparently they had some kind of deal where somebody was threatening some HBCUs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, it is, bro. It's wild. But that's what I said. That's why I said to Kevin Samuels, think about, drop it in the chat, right? This is an interactive show. I'm still working on the new stuff. I don't understand how bad I want. Niggas. Anyway, I want you to tell me who are the common denominators between the Kevin Samuels hate and the Charlie Kirk hate. There are two that specifically stand out to me that I see the most vocal. It's one thing to say, hey, I don't know who it was, and I'm not interested, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But to actually to formulate words of pleasure, to derive good feelings from this man's execution. It's an execution, bro. Y'all cried because Jesse Smollett threw bleach on himself and slipped on a fucking icy sidewalk in Chicago. Y'all cried for this nigga. Oh my God. Oh my God. The racist MAGAs are in Chicago and they're hanging the gays. Like, y'all went crazy. Y'all went crazy. And y'all are celebrating this man's death. It's crazy, bro. I can't, in no way, form, or fashion can I entertain it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best not to talk long today. Because like I said, I want to get back to the calls. So I'm going to try to spit for about maybe 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes. And then we'll definitely talk about it, right? Oh, wow. That'll be crazy. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to let the facts come out, hopefully. But my deal is that I know they've seen different persons. I saw a new person of interest that they just showed. My deal is, man, look, I think there's layers to this whole scenario, right? I don't think it was just, the older I get, and I've always had, like I told y'all about Coast to Coast Radio. If you never like to listen to Coast to Coast, I want to say it was not Art Bell. Was it with Art Bell when it was the good one? My mind be slipping. Or was it Nori? I can't remember. I'm gonna say Nori. But I used to listen to Coast and be lit as hell, but you just listen to things like, I'm the type of person, I will entertain, and somebody, oh, you don't entertain nonsense. I will entertain anything that sounds feasible. You know what I'm saying? Like, feel like if it's possible logic, or there could be, like, I'll listen. I'm not saying I'm necessarily going to believe it or buy into it, but if you can put together a few dots, you know, why not look into it? And I started to realize sometimes these dots connect to make a full fucking picture. So anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but I have several different thoughts about that. But let's talk about it. Was Charlie made into a martyr? And, you know, if so, what did that do for the message, right? Because I saw people I follow that I follow, like, mainly for funny stuff. You know, older people I follow, because I always have a reverence for older people and the knowledge that older people possess. I follow for knowledge. Younger people I follow for goofy stuff. And it's a lot of cats I follow who made tribute videos today to Charlie. And black men, right? Black men making tribute for this man. Why do black men love racists? Why do straight black men love racist white men? What is about it? What is it about it? Apparently, because that's what they say, right? Why do straight black men love racists? Because that's what they say. Apparently, everything is an ism, a tism. I'm just trying to bust a little jizzle. Anyway, but yeah, so you have, I saw many, so again, niggas that you thought was niggas. You saw Justin Jefferson come out and say he's going to pay for the kids' education. You saw Lamar Jackson say, man, and actually Lamar Jackson quoted something from Charlie Kirk, I think a couple of weeks ago. Don't get me wrong. It was Charlie Kirk and one of them. And he was in Nick Fuentes, maybe Charlie Kirk, one of them. And people were trying to give him backlash. Like, who's really the fast? Like, nobody goes looking for certain content that pisses them off unless they're miserable. Right? Like, who does it? I was thinking about that. They're like, we have a lot of miserable fucking people on this planet. And they choose to be miserable. They choose misery. Like, the internet and the library has a solution to every problem you could ever have if you're willing to take the risk. I gotta cover up. I ain't promoting these niggas. It's the way the fucking can. Oh, damn, they got the can off. We'll try like this. Yeah, that'll work, I guess. Like that. Yeah. Anyway, anything you can want, the library. And it's quiet. All the information you could ever need is at the library. All the information you could ever want is on the internet. Everybody started just repackaging and selling it, but if you know where to look, it's free. All the knowledge you could want and for any skill that you could want is available. But instead, people wake up high caloric and decide, I don't like myself, so I'm going to go find something to watch to justify and validate these feelings I have about myself and blame other people about it. They get up and they go find content that say, hey, you're morbidly obese. You can't walk. you go to Walmart and you get the little scooter for the old people and you play buggy bumpers on it with your obese boyfriend. I've seen this in real life. This is why I'm saying this, right? And instead of saying, hey, let me take the discipline, let me do the opposite level of discipline that it took for me to get to this point, because it didn't happen overnight, you just rather blame people. Well, obesity is a disease. It's a disease. How dare you tell me? I was born with this disease of obesity. Like this, we got to the point where everything's an excuse. But anyway, pardon me, I'm just gonna start turning around. Excuse me. We've got to the point where we've gotten so soft. But again, I'm trying to remain neutral, but it's so damn difficult. It's so damn difficult. All right. So was this a political assassination? Was this, because it was an assassination. It was an assassination. If there's a definition of an assassination, I don't want to hear you niggas from the hood say shit. The hood is canceled. The hood is over, nigga. If you ain't knocking niggas off from 200 yards, the fuck what the hood talking about, nigga. These fucking unknown, anonymous, generic white men. Like, I don't even believe these are white men that have actually been born. Like, because some of these motherfuckers look so crazy. They look like these were lab-grown people. These are not real people you see every day in society. This is not Kevin from True Value. You know what I'm saying? This is like, they get the craziest looking motherfuckers to do this. But anyway, this is the very definition of assassination. Like, you can't, it's like this and Kennedy. Like, I guess we could throw Abe Lincoln in there. I didn't see that when I didn't see the video for that. But this and Kennedy are fucking, that's the textbook. When you go to hitman school and decide that, and remember everything I say on this show is satire. I am not even real. I'm AI. I'm an AI. I'm not a real mother. That's how I know the motherfuckers. I'm a lab bro. I'm not even a real person. Don't take me serious. But dude, when you go to hitman school, like, and they show you a textbook hit, like, you got different kind of hits. You put some motherfuckers some cyanide pills and they drink while they're in the club or something. I'm not condoning you do violence. I saw this shit on a documentary. I would never. I'm an AI person. I don't even watch documentaries. Anyway, they would be illegal. I would say Trump, but they didn't say, but it would have been, had it been executed, it would have been, yeah. But Kennedy, and now that's textbook, that's the definition of an assassination. Like, when you say a fucking assassin, that's what you think, right? That's what you would think. But, so was this a political assassination? Was this something greater? Because I'm not a person to put it past. I don't know who the person of interest is. I didn't have really put a name or anything. He's a white guy wearing all black, had a cap on. I saw, again, weird looking kind of dude. I couldn't tell. But I don't put it past anything. Like I say, the fringe theorist in me, excuse me, pardon me, that was very rude. The fringe theorist in me, which always comes back to the center. Patricia K, how you doing? The fringe, it's like, I wouldn't put it past this person having right-wing beliefs. Like, I want to believe liberal, right? But this was professional, well executed, type of guy that fucking knocks off country mafia motherfuckers in the middle of Iowa, from the cornfield and shit. But it's just, somebody paid good money for this, right? Like, either somebody paid very good money, somebody set off an alert or the call signal, or what do they call it? The whatever they call it, that keyword that wakes up the sleeper cell, right? But like, here's my thing though, right? If I'm a shooter, that's why I say I need to know all the details. Because if I'm a shooter and I'm watching something, let's just be real. Let's like be hypothetically real about some shit. Okay, just in case some shit gets left behind, I need to throw motherfuckers off my tail, right? So I'm gonna put some little janky shit. Those couple little clues to make a motherfucker jump to that conclusion and throw that out there to me. That gives me just a little bit, even if it gives me 2 more minutes, right? That's why I say I need to see everything that's going on, because you throw some little, what do they call them, red herrings or whatever out there, and just get them off. Like, I don't know. That's why I say I gotta see it. But this is look. If the trannies are shooting like that, let them in the army. Pay for the fucking surgery. If the trannies are shooting like that, pay for their surgery. Put them in the army, give them special surgery and special guns. Like, just look, if that's what's going down, let it fuck, right? Because that shit, bro, y'all don't understand. I think this was before he even got too powerful, right? And I don't think he was necessarily grasping for power. I don't think he was power, but I think he just had a following. He had amassed a following that was, I had no idea. Like, when I went back to go see and I started seeing like all the people who were making content, I had no idea, right? Like, you thought Kevin Samuels was the thing. Fucking Charlie Kirk it has followings, right? And so, I mean, if you go watch some of these videos, half the people there are fans. You know what I'm saying? TD, what's the motherfucking deal? Like, so half the people there are fans. So I definitely believe this was political. Throwing some crazy ideas that I had out there, right? Of course, you got a few more years. I think you got to be, 35? He was only 31. I don't know when his birthday is. Actually, probably had a birthday come up today, but I think it was, what does it say? 90, 91, 93, something like that. I don't know. 93, I think. I'm thinking off. I think he said 93. I think 93, and he probably would have turned 30. My math is all, I don't fucking know. Anyway, presidential aspirations, right? Presidential aspirations. Were they a thing? Right? Because one, if they were, who is he edging out? Right? Who is, the up and comer who is supposed to be, the foreseeable leader, especially on the right? You take a motherfucker out, right? I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing shit out there. Right? And so my thing is, there's some people who may want the power. I think people do anything for power. Especially political power. Like, I've been watching, I ain't watch House of Cards. I'm bullshitting. I don't be watching them. Some shows be so fucking stupid to me. But don't think that this shit doesn't happen. Like, don't think that people aren't just making this shit up on some of these shows. So some of these things are happening, right? Anyway, political assassin. I definitely believe it. Of course, it had to be political views behind it one way or another, right? Whether you supported the views and, maybe we're trying to jockey for position in another reason, or if you hated what he was talking about, which I don't know why. Like, if you just didn't like what he was talking about, I just wouldn't listen. And the crazy part, talking about half these people who are celebrating, they never even heard of who he was. Like, black people are so stupid. Niggas are so stupid. Let me say that. Because they just want to be a part of something where the attention is going out. Who is this guy? Who got killed? I've never heard of. Oh, he was some race. Oh, well, fuck him then. Fuck him then. They won't think to go do any research, to go looking to see what was being said. And then they'll spread the message. Who was, oh man, that was some racist ass white boy. And it's just going to spread like wildfire. And we'll never watch a video, never know what the man was about, never know any of the points that he talked about. And it kills me because a lot of this shit we talk about, like, nigga, in the black Afro-American community, we say the same shit. It's just okay for us to say it because we black. We say the exact same shit, but it's okay for us to say it because we're black. We're like, you can literally have two motherfuckers, white person say something to black person. It's offensive because the white person said the exact same verbiage, the exact same everything. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? But Negro bots, I could see it. He was killed at such a weird time, like the timing. I don't know if you've seen the video. There's a lot of people breaking the videos down who were talking about the hand signals that were going on behind it, like it was a setup. Man, look. People are saying that this same guy who was at the Trump assassination, who was behind him, I don't know. I don't know these things. I'm just looking at what some of the pictures were. I'll share them in the Discord. I didn't get time to set them up beforehand. But yeah, he was the rejuvenation of the youth conservative movement, right? And I think there are certain groups. I want to believe that this wasn't an issue of the snake cutting his own head off. I don't even think that's like an analogy. I'm just whatever. The snake biting its own tail, whatever you want to call it. I believe it came from the other side, right? Because I believe it's a situation where you have to look at it and be like, man, look, if we want to win back the white, we're doing terrible. We can't bring the male side back to our vote. We don't know what to say. Like, y'all see what liberal people are doing, and they're getting the weirdest creators, and we're like people who just talk to men like men want to be talked to, and maybe you can win a few back over. You're talking to them crazy and putting them at the bottom of the totem pole, and then you're wondering why they're leaving your side. But anyway, he had a huge conservative youth following. And again, like I said, I'm just starting to learn, like a lot of the people who follow, it was bigger than I had any idea. And again, I've heard of him. I've heard him from Turning Point. I've heard him from, when he does the college campus thing, I've heard all huge following, right? Think about it. Now that Trump get in, everybody knew him. This is the new play into presidency, right? I heard Stephen A. say he might throw his hat in the ring. At this point, the presidency, because the country's become a joke, it's up for grabs. It's going to be a voting contest. Who was it? Fucking Lady Gaga might run or some shit. And I love her music. Let's like, who cares now, right? That's where we're at. So if you actually got a guy who's solid with a huge following, has a legitimate, that's something to think about in the future. It's crazy. But again, it is what it is. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you got South Park, you had to do something you're doing something on a nationwide level. And the thing that's crazy because he hasn't done anything outrageous to me lately, as far as I know. I know more back in the Turning Point days, there was a lot of shit going on. RJ, what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah. And once you get the biggest star on the biggest, on that cartoon and you make him a cartoon, of course, right? But it's so crazy. That's the fucked up part is that you go from that just a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago or so. And now you got to fucking assassinate it, man. Like, that's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. But I also think, I say it could be a situation of snake biting its own tail is there are some recent videos where some kind of questions were made about certain things and maybe his wholehearted support of the Blue Star Boys and things of that nature. Yeah, and that's what I believe too. Exactly, that's what I believe too. Y'all were like, he had their ear. It wasn't race. It was black, Mexican. I seen a Israeli. They had it on the Fox News today, or not Fox News. It was on the news this morning, one of these news channels. And it was Israeli, not an Israeli, Pakistani or Arab, Indian, something. He's like, I'm Indian and I like his views and this is why I listen. Because you would think I am an immigrant and I come here and I understand what he's saying and I support him. And he had like R.I.P. Charlie Kirk on the back of his SUV. Why? But you didn't notice it's men. You notice it's men. Because men have a certain standard. Men have a certain set of beliefs, right? And whether... Right, a man got to have a code. Who knows where that's from? Let me see what kind of viewers we got here. A man got to have a code. Who knows where that's from? I'm gonna see what kind of TV time y'all really be on. But the man was high character. The man had a good message. The man had a following, a huge following, right? But all they've done now is they may have thought they've done something in the future. You've probably ensured that J.D. Vance gets in. Right, whenever it's his time to run, you've probably ensured that he's going to be president. Because what you've done is think about it. Like, I'm trying to think about somebody who was huge at our age, who was younger that people follow. Again, I'm a little older. That's like knocking off. I don't know. We didn't have more figures like that. Think about somebody maybe in their prime of their celebrity that people looked up, like The Rock or something. Like, what if The Rock would have got knocked off? Just in the middle of his career, right? People be very upset, especially as a kid. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. All right, I knew J. Mel was going to know. But it's. I had something I was thinking and I just forgot it because it's a point I wanted to make. Oh, I'm going to say this and then, what time? I'm gonna talk about 10 more minutes, maybe. The beautiful thing, I hate to say beautiful, beautiful is probably the amazing or interesting thing about this is that for all the people who are hating on Charlie Kirk, he wins, right? He wins. One, because now his name is it's legendary. It was already huge. Now you become a legend, right? Think about all the artists that tap out in their prime. And then the way it was done so publicly, the way it spread through social media. You talk about fucking viral. But the thing about it is not only going out on top in your prime, you know, and always that legacy of what could be. He went out doing exactly what the fuck he loved. Like that's how the Warriors used to pray to die, right? Like that's how, or you got into Valhalla and all that other shit. Of course, not niggas. Niggas ain't allowed. Valhalla segregated, but you know what I'm talking about. So you've done nothing but made his legacy. You made him like in the middle of him talk. Like that's Martin Luther King shit. That's Martin Luther King. Like that's Martin Luther King. Like I hate to say it, people say, "Oh, this is blasphemy, black man." This black ass nigga done said Charlie Kirk got Martin Luther King. Bro, that's exactly what happened. That was basically, even though Martin had a different message, which probably is the place you're talking, you're giving speeches, you're talking on college campuses, you're talking, you know, about it. It's the same thing. We just look at it differently because we weren't there in that. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. In the history tablets that the Blue Star Boys give your kids when they go to school, and when so that way they can update. Like that way, they never have to go back to the old history books. You know how the old history books and they have to change up slavery and do all that shit. They just gonna give them tablets. We just gonna this Alexa, take out these words and replace these words so the kids don't know what the fuck is going on. But he got Martin Luther King. You sealed his legacy just like Martin Luther King. Right? And then the thing that was something like, and it's crazy, like, 'cause everybody wants to post a quote where he said, well, I think gun violence is necessary. Something like about gun violence is necessary to keep the Second Amendment or some shit like that. And people like celebrated that shit. Like, yeah, and again, now the people who didn't know who he was are going to be truly introduced to what he was saying. Bro, it's you didn't do what you thought you did, right? You may not run for something in the future, but you're going to introduce way more people to it. The same thing that happened to Kevin Samuels. And I keep referring back to it. I just want my credit because I had that take first before everybody else started running with the shit. But the same way, that's crazy. That's crazy. Motherfuckers talking about now if you ain't cheering for a motherfucker death that you a mag. Like, that's why I say these motherfuckers are so outraged. Like the real Nazis, I did not see anything. The real Nazis are the people want to shut down the language, who will get you, don't want to keep you from being able to speak your mind. They want to attack you for speaking your mind. They want to kill you for thinking. They want to fight you for thinking. They want to harm you for having opinions that don't fall in line. And we can talk about that in the liberal sense, but we can talk about that in the black community. Who are the ones that want to harm you for not following in line? All right? Who are the ones that want to hurt you for not following in order? We say Malcolm X is a better example because he was killed while giving a speech by his own people. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but you know, Malcolm X, like, they don't give him the same due. Because, he was a little while early. He wasn't about the peace. He was about that by any means necessary. He was AK in the window. Malcolm had Martin had a damn corn cob looking out the window. He wasn't like Malcolm. And he knew that. And I think that he started to realize that's when it all got jakey. You know what I'm saying? So let's do this. Let's get ready to open up the line. I had a couple of little points I wanted to make, but I said I want to give people a chance to speak their thoughts on what's happening. But I think there is going to be fallout because, like I said, there was a little thing. I don't know how long it was going. They said like 4 HBCUs got calls for threats and shit. My deal is like they're claiming it's a white guy who threatened them. To back to my correlation of the type of people that I've seen making fun of this shit. What do you think most of them have in common? Right? When we talk about people with structurally. I need to start standing up straight. With questionably structured risks, people with higher levels of estrogen, heavy levels of places where they congregate. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did. Like, it's going to cause fallout. But like I said, it's people are going to be mad at the wrong stuff because of the shit that they consume. Like, there's going to be a whole bunch of white people who are mad at black folks. You can't be mad at black people because they don't give a fuck, right? I mean, why? They're going to still be at the bottom. The same ones who's doing all, they're going to be at the bottom of the barrel. Don't be mad at them. Be mad at the motherfucker who took the message, like who took out the messenger, right? Because the same people celebrating that, the people who are celebrating that are fucking miserable. They're fucking losers, right? Like, there's no point even in addressing them. If you're celebrating somebody's death, right? And let me put it in this context. If you're celebrating somebody's death and you didn't do the dirty work, you're a fucking loser. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Really? That's interesting. Like, if you're celebrating somebody and you didn't do, you're a loser. Like, how you get to celebrate somebody else's handiwork? That's like, you know, it's like, I don't know, like you have a fucking family function and you get a plate off, like you taking credit for cooking the food or something. Like, yeah, you get to enjoy a little bit if you part, but you didn't do none of this. Anyway, let us. I feel like I should get some water before I open up the line. Let me do that. Let me give me a little cup of water. Give me about 1 minute and 8 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay. And I'll get some water. We're going to open up the line. I want to know y'all's thoughts, man. Just this whole Charlie Kirk thing. Is he the white Martin? Is he the white Malcolm? What do you think the ultimate fallout is? Like I say again, did he die a martyr? Is he a modern day martyr by the terms of it? Right. So we'll get into that. Give me un segundo, por favor. 1 minute, 8 seconds. All right, so this is what's going to have to happen. We can continue this. I know I said I was about to take some calls in a minute. I have to take care of a minor emergency. It's going to be like maybe 30 minutes or so, maybe more. I don't know what time it is. 7:45. Maybe like 8:30, we can kick it back on and finish the rest of the stuff. Y'all want to do that? If not, we can call it a wrap, but I got to take care of something. So again, my apologies. Again, I got to go home, but I got to get the fuck out of there right now. I'll hit y'all on the flip side. I have to take care of this matter. But again, check back around 8:30, and we will continue the show. I owe y'all at least that.